Today on E-MTB review, I'm going to show you 4 ways to charge your e-bike off-grid or away from house current. As you get more and more use out of your e-bike, you might find yourself in situations where you want to charge it away from house current. The most common one is you're out camping, you're out on an adventure, you're overlanding and whatnot, and you need to charge your adventure machine. Another situation is my bike is not quite charged. It's like 80% charged, but I do have an hour drive to the trailhead. And I said, man, I wish I could top this thing off while I'm driving. Or maybe you're taking a lunch break and you said, I want to charge this thing, while I'm taking a break. That way I get more juice, do more riding, more adventures. The first way is the most common. It is the gas generator way. If you have one of those Honda generators sitting around, they're not cheap, but they're very effective. They can power a lot of chargers, a lot of e-bikes. So you get one of those, you're good to go. Downside is they use gas and they're quite noisy. All right, the second solution is probably the most interesting one, which I'll spend the most time on. It's using a solar battery generator like these ones to charge your e-bike battery. So we have a yellow one here and this green one, and how they get power is you plug them in your home current, you charge them up. You can plug them in your car, your cigarette lighter, or a solar array like this, power from the sun. So you charge up your source and then you charge your battery. The interesting thing is obviously your source has to be bigger than your destination, and your destination is a 700 watt-hour battery on most bikes like the Levo. And what I found through some investigative reporting, I have a watt meter here measuring what goes in, what goes out, is you do need about a 900 watt-hour power station to charge a 700 watt-hour battery. And the reason is you go through inverters. That one is direct current, this one is direct current, meaning battery, but they have to be converted into AC, and then from AC converted back to direct current using those chargers, and that's a lot of power loss. In the future, hopefully we'll have DC to DC charging. So you do need something bigger. That's a 1000 watt-hour battery for this one, and this one is a 700 watt-hour battery for this one. So that one's not quite enough to charge this fully empty, but you're rarely at full drain. And that thing has a trick up its sleeve, which is it has a solar generator. So the solar generator, while you're out riding and whatnot, it could be charging that thing, or while it's charging, it could be charging it as well. So that one gives about 80 watts. So it's enough to fuel that and that to fuel that. So even though they're just 700. Everyone who's into the off-grid or overlanding is getting these power generators anyway, because they're so handy. They can charge all your devices, they can power your RV and whatnot. So they're very cool, but they're kind of expensive. The model last year was about $1 for 1 watt-hour, so about $1,000 for 1,000 watt-hours. But they're really dropping in price, and now it's about 70 cents per watt-hour. So this one's about 700 now, and this one's about 500. So we'll have links in the description. So the third solution to combat that price problem is just to get a battery. So you can't use a lead acid battery. They don't have enough capacity. But what they have is these LiPo or lithium iron phosphate. This is called LiFePO. So that's a LiFePO battery, and it has 1300 watt-hours. Much bigger capacity on that than this, but it's much cheaper. It's only $300. And the reason is it's a single-purpose machine. It's just a battery. It doesn't have all that, the conversion, the fans, and whatnot. But you do need a charger for that, usually $50 to $100. And the interesting thing, it doesn't have AC current, it's just a 12 volt like your car battery. You do need an inverter to power your charger. So the last solution is to get an inverter to get from your car 12 volt to AC 110 volts, just like this. So this charger and most chargers take about 200 watts, maybe 240 watts for the more powerful chargers. So that's what they want from the house current or from the inverter. So you have to make sure that your inverter is big enough to power that charger. But we do have a significant problem, which is the easy way to connect these, and especially if you're driving, is with a cigarette lighter. Most cigarette lighters can't handle it. They can handle about 150 watts only. So if you plug this in, you're gonna pop a fuse, unfortunately. So what you need to do is you need to plug this directly into your car battery, and that works fine. And if you're gonna use this long term, so you might as well have a positive and negative terminals on your truck or SUV on the back, so you could plug something like this in. One caveat, of course, is this will drain your car battery, so you do need to keep the engine running. So when you have the engine running, the alternator is charging up your car battery. Those are the 4 solutions. Let me know if that's helpful to you. Of course, there's a number 5 out there, which is buy an electric car, you know, one of those Rivians or the Ford Lightning, maybe a Tesla. So that works, but you probably knew that already, and I don't want you to buy an electric car just so you can charge your e-bike battery. All right, thanks a ton.